Welcome back to Thrive, your go-to channel for transforming health, revolutionizing indoor air quality, and visionary environments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below to let us know your thoughts. Here's Distinguished Professor Dr. Lidia Morawska to introduce the Future Buildings Forum on Energy and Indoor Air Quality.
So thank you very much, everyone, and for taking time out and joining us today. I'm Matthew Riley. I'm the Director of Climate and Atmospheric Science at the New South Wales Government's Department of Climate Change, Energy, the Environment and Water, and we're very proud to host this Thrive Forum today. Before I hand over to Lidia to kick things off for us, I wanted to an acknowledgement of country. So today we're here in the centre of Sydney in the CBD, and this is traditionally the land of the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation. And I pay my respects to their elders past, present, and those elders who are yet to come. Wugalora, Wugal Bemel, Wugal Kowing, Wugal Marimudjan, Wugal Galagarang. One earth, one sun, one land, one people, one big family. Those are words from the Darug language, which is the language of the Gadigal people whose land we're on today. It was a language that was thought lost for many, many years because the native speakers of Darug, their language was thought to become extinct. It was rediscovered again a few decades ago, and now there's a thriving new use of the Darug language, not just within the peoples of the broader Darug and Eora nations, but also more broadly in arts and culture. And it's interesting that we speak about arts and culture and the pursuit of happiness and the endeavours of man and individuals and communities. I think that's a really nice way for us to touch on a very great introduction to Professor Lidia Morawska, who will lead us through today and give us some opening remarks. I was asked to provide an introduction to Lidia, and I don't know how to provide an introduction to someone as eminent as Lidia. However, one dropped into our laps just last week because if you haven't known or aren't aware, Distinguished Professor Lidia Morawska has been elected as a member of the prestigious American Academy of Arts and Scientists. She is one of 25 new international honorary members of the American Academy of Arts and Sciences. The Academy honours excellence in the fields of human endeavour in our approach to examine new ideas, address issues of importance to the world and to work together. That's a wonderful way to describe Lidia's work overall and the way that she pursues that work. The Academy's charter is to cultivate every art and science which may tend to advance the interest, honour, dignity and happiness of a free, independent and virtuous people. And again, these are words that I relate closely to Lidia in my knowing of Lidia as a colleague and as a friend, that they really resonate with me. And just to give you an idea of how great an honour this is, the American Academy of Arts and Sciences has amongst its members Ben Franklin, Alexander Hamilton, George Washington and Alexander Graham Bell. And more recently, distinguished members include John F. Kennedy, Martin Luther King Jr., Charles Darwin, Albert Einstein, Winston Churchill and Nelson Mandela. And our dear colleague Lidia is now amongst that pantheon of greats. And so it's an incredible achievement, and we're very lucky always to have Lidia here to share her knowledge. And with that, I'm going to hand over to Lidia to take us through. Thank you very much, Lidia, and congratulations.
Thank you, Matthew. Thank you for those kind words, but I'd like to say something which I said when receiving last year an award from L'Oreal, and this is what I said. Over the decades, I have been deeply privileged to meet amazing people representing many different areas of expertise who became my colleagues and with whom we pushed the boundaries of airborne particle science and its application to atmospheric, building, and human exposure science. From the depths of my heart, I thank all who have been part of this incredible journey. all of you who are in this room and who are on Zoom are part of this journey. I wouldn't have been able to do anything by myself, really. This is a joint achievement. So thank you all very much for this. Now, and thank you, Matt, very much. I must say that when we decided that this is the time that we have to have our forum in Sydney, so the question was whom to partner with. Of course, we have academic colleagues, but we thought that it should go outside the academia. But indoor air quality is no one's responsibility. So who to partner with? And then my thought came about you. But you always having the vision outside things which are right now in the center, which have to be done. You always have a big vision. And that's why we asked you. And you enthusiastically, immediately accepted this. You could have said, no, this is not our portfolio, this is not a... Yet you invited us here and you created this amazing environment for this meeting. So thank you very much for this. Now, indoor air is no one's responsibility yet. But to become someone's responsibility, like an organization, and in the broader context, to provide clean, safe air in the holistic concept of the building and what is required to operate the building, which is energy, we all need to partner across different disciplines. One discipline will not resolve this. So it's like your vision has been that it has to be brought interdisciplinary. This is the vision of Thrive. Colleagues here in this room, colleagues on Zoom, colleagues joining us from across Australia, from New Zealand, from China, and from the United States. So this is our shared vision, partners who are already officially partners, and partners who we hope will be our partners and their supporters. So this is really what...
So I see more the short version of the
Okay. What is a comment to what I said? ARC IPTC, Sensor, Linkage Project, and My Lawyer Project. All these projects are in the same space, so that's why that's the Thrive. What's the control of something?
Just a minor technical issue, but these guys are onto it, so it's all.
I see that this is even so. Now, but one specific activity which or task focus right now in the still very early stage of Thrive is to ask questions, big questions, what to do and how to do things better. So we can, and I'll read this from our vision, how to, based on science and technology, to lead the advancement of knowledge and technological infrastructure development in pursuit of clean and healthy indoor environments that improve mental cognition and foster productivity. How to do it? If there were questions, if there were answers to this, we would have done this. This is not simple, and sometimes some try to put it in a very simplistic way. I remember that once finally airborne transmission was accepted early in the pandemic, so there were voices, okay, it is as simple as open the window. It is not as simple as open the window. It's actually extremely complex. And at in one of the presentations, and trying to attract people completely from outside these areas to the complexity of this, I compared the complexity of buildings and operating them on Earth with what would be on Mars. And the simple situation is that on Mars, the building would be enclosed, would not interact with what's outside. The only aspect here we have indoor-outdoor interaction, so that this is much more complex. So asking these questions, which will be during the course of work of Thrive, will be addressing, this is the purpose of this forum. So the first of this forum was in Melbourne. I'm not sure whether you can see this. So it was Melbourne in October last year. There's the list of the speakers. You probably can see this. Now, there we had slightly different format. We didn't have speakers, but we have panelists and questions. Each panel addressed questions. Now, the second of this was conducted in Brisbane in February, and then a different focus. The first one in Melbourne was focused on the building design, specifically displacement ventilation and hybrid ventilation. The one in Brisbane was focused on infection risk control, but also other issues related to this. So then we thought, okay, now it's time for having a section forum in Sydney. So here we are. Now, there are 7 questions which you have in the agenda. Next slide. 7 big questions. When we come to the panel discussion, we'll look at these questions. And do we expect that we address and provide answers to all these questions during this few hours? Of course not. We are barely starting the conversation. We will bring voices, different views, which will be kind of like seeds to start discussion. That's what we did with the forum in Melbourne, starting the discussion about displacement ventilation, and then we are now keep working. We are already a PhD student, so the wheel is turning. So I hope that one big wheel start turning with this forum today. So to provide food for the discussion and answering this question, we have 3 presentations. What we are going to do with the presentations and with the presenters, so everybody will have 15 minutes or so. We don't have here, but we will on the website, the introduction who the speakers are. On the website, maybe. But anyway, I'm not going to introduce the speakers. I'll ask the speakers to introduce themselves in 1 or 2 sentences, what they think is the most important. We won't have questions during this session, during these presentations, unless something completely unclear, like I can't see something on the screen, what did you say? But what we will do, so as the agenda, what we will do when we come to the panel sessions, so then during the first panel sessions, we'll address any questions specifically to the presentations, and then we will start addressing the questions, big questions for the session.